Welcome to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I'm your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop. And this week I've got 4 reviews for you. First off, 2 new theatrical releases, The Perfect Guy and The Visit, and a movie that I just finally caught on DVD and Blu-ray called Maggie, and another random review just for you guys. This one was torturous to sit through. It is called Superhero Movie. So, shall we get this party started this week? And ladies and gentlemen, this first movie has been called M. Night Shyamalan's Return. Is it a return for the good or for the bad? Ladies and gentlemen, my review of The Visit. Two teenage children go on a trip to visit their estranged grandparents for the first time. The girl, a documentary maker wannabe, decides she's going to record the whole experience. The grandparents pick them up from the train station and take them back to their house. At first, all seems normal until nighttime comes, where bedtime is 9:30 p.m. The kids see some odd things going down after coming out of the room after that time. As the days go on, the grandparents act more and more strange. Will the kids make it till the end of the trip alive? So what did I think of The Visit? I thought it's a very strange horror film. I had some mixed feelings about a lot of things throughout the entire film. There were elements I liked, some I hated, and some things that I thought were just flat out weird. First off, it's filmed in shaky cam / found footage style, but it's not as annoying as some recent entries in that genre. I know I'm being a little nitpicky here, but why are M. Night Shyamalan's credits for the movie The Visit in this girl's documentary film? You know, you're in the middle of her film and all of a sudden M. Night Shyamalan presents The Visit, starring this person and that person, and it's like, yeah, okay. Also the credits for the film, his credits for the film are in her end credits. Weird. This just sort of struck me as odd, obviously. Some things I did like were the spooky sets of the house at night, setting an eerie mood. There's also some nice suspense and some well-utilized jump scares. I saw some people jumping like crisscross. That being said, I just don't find old people to be that scary. Toward the end, they do become a little more menacing, obviously, but at no time was I actually scared out of my wits. There are jokes that are actually meant to be funny that I personally thought missed the mark, with some being shockingly bad. On the flip side, there were some things that were supposed to be serious that I found unintentionally funny, or the cause of an eye roll or two. There's even some scenes that feel unneeded and don't really have much to do with anything. Then there's the weird things, like the super fast crawling and strength, which is never explained, by the way, vomit-inducing nudity, Yahtzee, and a scene that will make me never think of a Depends the same way again. Surprisingly, there is a message of forgiveness throughout the film. This is directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who of course is known for his twists. I called this one about a half hour before the reveal. Cast stars Olivia de Jong as Becca, the teen girl who's really into filmmaking and filming the trip, Ed Oxenbould as Tyler, Becca's brother who's trying to become a rap prodigy and thinks their dad left the family because of something he did, Deanna Dunnigan as Nana, the kid's grandmother who seems to have some kind of sickness, Peter McRobbie as Pop-Pop, the grandfather who's forgetful and seems to be keeping some secrets, and Catherine Hahn as Mom, the grandparent's daughter who did something in the past to basically end the relationship between them. While it's miles better than The Happening or The Last Airbender and After Earth, there were too many ups and downs for me to tell you to take The Visit. I'm going to give it the rating of meh. You know, it's okay. It's up and down. I really struggled with the rating on this one, and this is what the meh rating is for, ladies and gentlemen. When you like some and you don't like some. But yeah, this is a really odd movie. Some people love this Some people hate this. I'm just like right in the middle. There was some stuff I liked, some stuff I hated. I don't want to give away a whole lot. But after the twist, it does get better. I'll give you that. But like the first half hour is just a very slow setup. And I know a lot of movies are like that, but this one even felt more slow. And the jokes in the beginning, I was face palming through almost the whole first half an hour. So luckily it does get better. But I would not recommend paying to see this in the theater. If you're going to check it out on DVD like Redbox or Netflix. All right, well, the next movie we got is the other theatrical release that came out this week. It is your stalker movie of the next 7 months. I don't know when the next one comes out, but I guess we'll find out. This is my review of The Perfect Guy. Hey, they made a movie about me. After breaking up with her boyfriend, a woman starts dating a new man who seems to be, well, the perfect guy. Her friends and parents all like him and welcome him with open arms, but it may all be too good to be true. On the way home from her parents' house, the man freaks out and beats down a stranger who wants to take a picture of his car. Okay, scared at his rage, the woman dumps him, and he doesn't take it all that well. So what did I think of The Perfect Guy? I thought it's a run-of-the-mill thriller. This is the type of movie you've probably already seen before, even in the past year with the likes of No Good Deed and The Boy Next Door. This film is at least a little better than those. The character in question flips like a switch into stalker mode with no hints at all to the audience. We know it's coming by the trailer, so drop a few hints here and there, and I feel like it would have worked better than seeing a mild-mannered gentleman turning into a psychopath at the drop of a hat. After the breakup, there's some very familiar and cliched ideas, such as people close to the woman dying, a disappearing pet, and a final showdown in the house. The creep also spends a lot of time hiding inside the woman's house, when other characters are there, even while they're in the shower, and hiding under the bed. It's like he's invisible. One thing that saves the film is the cast, which do deliver good performances. Sanaa Lathan stars as Leah Vaughn, a lobbyist who jumps into the wrong relationship with someone she thought was a gem. Michael Ealy as Carter, the man who seems like Mr. Right but becomes a stalker after Leah cuts ties with him. And Morris Chestnut as Dave, Leah's ex who isn't in a rush to settle down and have kids. The Perfect Guy has some moments, but ends up being perfectly mediocre. I'm gonna give it the rating of meh. Another meh for you. 2 mehs. It's not a 2 meh. Alright. Anyway, it is a 2 meh. This movie is very generic. Like I said, it's the same formula as any other boyfriend gets dumped thriller that comes back for revenge. It has a lot of things we've seen before. Like I said, the only thing that makes it watchable is the cast, and there are some good performances. Once again, I wouldn't go out and spend money on this other than checking it out on Redbox or Netflix if you want to check it out. Alright, now we're going to check out what's new on DVD/Blu-ray in the last few months. And this was interesting because Arnold Schwarzenegger and zombies put together. Interesting. But is it as interesting as we all think it is? I'm going to tell you. Here's my review of Maggie. After the outbreak of a virus, those who are infected are put into quarantine. A young girl named Maggie has been recently infected and has 6 to 8 weeks until she fully turns. While the doctor tells her father to take her to quarantine, he decides to stay at home with her until she fully turns into a zombie. So what did I think of Maggie? I thought it's a mediocre drama. I give it credit for trying to do something different in this stuffed zombie genre we've seen as of late. Instead of having it be a shoot-'em-up flick, it's a drama of what happens to a family during the time of someone turning into a zombie. This really has a young adult novel type feel to it, and it seemed like if you replaced the infection with a regular disease, it would be just another typical drama. Along the way, the characters encounter a very limited amount of zombies. Let me stress that. Very limited. I did like the makeup effects used on Maggie, and it gets more in-depth as she begins her turn. Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as Wade, the father who has to make some tough calls when it comes to his daughter's condition. Abigail Breslin as Maggie, Wade's infected daughter who doesn't want to be a burden to anyone, and Jolie Richardson as Caroline, Maggie's stepmother who's also upset about the situation. While I think the premise could have worked, not enough happens to keep me enthralled throughout. I'm going to give it the rating of... nah. 3 mahs, ladies and gentlemen. And I guarantee the last one will not be a meh. I guarantee you that. This was just, a very mediocre movie. When you see Arnold Schwarzenegger and you think of an Arnold Schwarzenegger zombie movie, this is not the movie you would think of. Let me put that right out there. Like I said, I give it credit for trying to do something different. Some things clicked, some things just didn't click. Alright, and finally, we're going to do another random review where I'm going to try to clean out my my DVD collection of unwanted gems is what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to watch movies that I think are going to be pretty crappy. Some might not be, we'll see. But I have a pile in there, a pile of shit, literally. And not literally, but a pile of crappy movies. Gonna review this one. Fits in that category, in case you couldn't tell. This was a parody movie that came out in 2008. Here's my review of Superhero Movie. After being bit by a dragonfly in a genetics lab, a young teen decides to take the responsibility, get it, into his hands and become the superhero known as the Dragonfly. After doing some heroic deeds, he finds himself in a feud with a foe known as the Hourglass. Will Dragonfly be able to come to the city's rescue? So what did I think of Superhero Movie? I thought it is a terrible parody comedy. In the spirit of Scary Movie, the film takes shots of some of the earlier hero movies before the Avengers series, such as Batman Begins, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. The film mirrors the first Spider-Man film, but has a lot of bad jokes inserted into that story. It's like they took the Spider-Man script and added really crappy jokes. The jokes really are the lowest level of comedy, trying to make the audience laugh at pee, vomit, farts, animal arousal, and of course, poop. The only people who might like this film is anyone under the age of 12. Some of the jokes didn't age well either. But the one thing that I did find funny was a spoof of Tom Cruise talking about the Dragonfly on a YouTube video. Literally check that out if you haven't seen it. I have to give it that at least. It's Tom Cruise when he was doing it on his Scientology kick, talking about, I can fly. Dragonfly can't fly. I can fly. That was pretty good. And the guy that played him was a blast, so check that out. The film stars Drake Bell as Rick Riker / the Dragonfly, the teen-turned-hero looking to protect the city. Sarah Paxton as Jill Johnson, the girl Rick is in love with that barely knows he exists. Christopher McDonald as Lou Landers / the Hourglass, the CEO of a company who has a disease and has to find a cure before his time is up. Kevin Hart as Trey, Rick's best friend, and appearances from Leslie Nielsen, Marion Ross, Brent Spiner, and a number of cameos. Superhero Movie is nowhere near super, and is one of the unfunniest movies I've ever seen. I'm going to give it the rating of, well, you know it. Superhero Movie, I got 2 words for ya. suck it. Yeah. If you are a superhero fan and you think this might look funny, you think it's cool to do a parody of the superhero movies, especially Spider-Man that it parodies, this is not a good movie. Watch the first Spider-Man again before you watch this once, because this is not good. Some of the parody movies out there are funny. The first couple scary movies I liked, and then they got the fifth one was just terrible. It was as bad as this. It all depends who writes it and what movies they're parodying and who writes the jokes, because these jokes are just terrible. It's almost like 4-year-olds wrote this script of the jokes and then they inserted it into the Spider-Man script. So, I did own this movie because I grabbed it for basically free, and I finally put it in the player and I traded it in for a better movie for free. Don't watch this movie. Alright, well that's all the time for this week. I'll be back next week with my reviews of The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials. It's The Scorch! Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp, I'm excited for that one, and Everest, which I'm also excited for. Scorch, not so much. But anyway, I'll be back with those reviews, plus another random review. God knows what it's going to be. So, until next time, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. youtube.com/westside515. You can like me on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTrueBaylist. Follow on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestAList. And, of course, you can buy my book, The A-List Review 2014 Movie Review Yearbook. Over 150 reviews, only $10. Contact me through Facebook or Twitter if you're interested. Or Instagram, for that matter. Just contact me and give me your money. But only a few more months till the new one comes out, so those of you who are interested in that, pre-orders are going to be soon. Until next time, Troop out.